About this warning, we're about to show you video of an extremely violent home invasion. A man breaks into the home of a woman and her kids. The 3-year-old watching the violence unfold right in front of her. The mom is beaten senseless. A second warning, I mean this. This video is graphic, but to tell the story properly, we need to show you what happened. The town is Millburn, New Jersey, a mile from my home. It's a middle-class neighborhood. The door was locked. The perp broke the glass door, violently attacked mom in front of her 3-year-old daughter, robbed the home, and then threw the mother down the stairs. That dirtbag is still on the loose. Home invasions are increasing at an alarming rate, so we ask, do we really want to make it more difficult for law-abiding moms and dads to protect our families, our homes, our kids? And hey, gun control advocates, if that was your wife or your mom or your sister, you still want to take the firearm out of their hands. Right. Kimberly, you're a single mom. This has to scare the living daylights out of you.
It's awful because you feel so vulnerable. She's there with her child, and the child has to witness this, which is traumatic, and to mess up the child to see this and feel defenseless and not understand what's going on. That's your home. She's probably never going to want to live there for the rest of her life because every time she walks past that stairway or tries to go downstairs, she's going to remember about this. Now, this is why I'm for strict laws and truth in sentencing in terms of situations like this. A home invasion robbery, you go into someone's home, and if did he have any weapon on him, etc., because that's going to provide extra
enhancements. Fist is his weapon, Kimberly. That man, his fist was his weapon. Great, let me talk to you about that a little bit. The gun.
So you can put him away longer, is my point.
Right. Does this not make the case for easing gun control laws instead of increasing them? Completely.
Imagine if there was a vitamin that reduced your chances of becoming a victim of violence. Vitamin G. That's a good gun. Most recent government study, this is the biggest study right now, shown that defensive use of guns by victims is as common as guns used by criminals, between 500,000 and 3 million uses every year. Also, studies show defensive use of guns lowers your injury rate compared to victims who don't have guns. She pulled out a gun, and if she shot that jerk, she wouldn't be as injured. And as far as I'm concerned, that guy should be dead. If he had entered a house that somebody had a gun, he would be dead.
Bob, I want you. Dan, hang in there for a second.
Yeah.
Bob, go ahead. You want to respond to the gun control issue?
First of all, my opposition to the gun issues with handguns is to be able to wear them out on the street without having it, and you don't have to conceal them. Well, I have absolutely no problem with somebody having a gun in their home to protect their home. I mean, that's always been the case. I doubt whether this woman could have gotten to a gun in time, but maybe she could have.
But there was a period of time when he went upstairs.
But I don't have a problem in your own home being able to have weapons to protect yourself. My problem is carrying them into the community at large and jeopardizing other people.
Danny, you want to?
Well, I agree. Maybe she would not have been able to get one. But if the perpetrator had, even for a second, thought that she might have had one, then maybe he wouldn't have done this horrible thing. Plus, this is a very responsible person. The reason that we have the video is she had a nanny cam. The reason you have a nanny cam is to make sure that your child is being well looked after by the nanny. So this is a responsible person who would have done all the right checks, and I would imagine.
I hope it helps catch.
But it's a horrible video, and violence like that you see in a movie is very different from seeing it raw like that. It really is upsetting.
I will tell you, this happened about a mile from my house, and my wife called me and said, "You got to see this video." When I saw it, we got to talk about this a little bit.
In a nice neighborhood, too.
In a middle-class neighborhood, the door was locked. The guy kicked through the door. It can happen. The point is, it can happen anywhere. This guy's still on the run. Here's a New Jersey tip line.
Turn him in.
Here's a couple of $20,000 reward. I think that number's going to go up.
By the way, really quick, this guy, they might have picked up Prince something, because when you do something that bold, you're usually a recidivist. You've done a home invasion or this type of very bold robbery, not just like, pickpocketing someone on the street.
Right, and last thought, my wife literally says, we have a Kimber and we have an over-under shotgun. She said, I think I'm going to learn how to use those guns.
Mm-hmm. Greg sent me this copy of this survey about guns, and two things struck me. One is, in your homes, people tend to use them a lot to defend themselves. There's not as much out in the street. Yeah. And secondly, the downside of it is, didn't you say that where there are guns in the house, suicide rates tend to go up?
Well, they said that there's a pretty dramatic link between gun purchase and suicide, but that could be because people buy the gun to intend to kill themselves.
Right. We're going to leave it there. Next.